How's it going, guys? Just watched the latest episode of Yugioh VRAINS. I didn't make a review for the last week's episode, one, because I was being a bit lazy, and two, because I felt like it was just a duel-focused episode. Very little plot advancement actually happened, and the only prediction that I had turned out to not be true, because Yusaku had to figure out a way to defeat Spectre without doing damage to him, so I thought it was going to make him deck out. That turned out not to be the case, and I actually preferred what happened in this episode instead, so I'm kind of glad I didn't make that review now, so let's get on with the review. I actually really like the way this episode starts, where the bridge is about to collapse, Spectre's gloating, saying, ha ha ha, I beat you, Yusaku, unlucky man, I've done Revolver proud, and Yusaku lets out a little smirk, and he's like, yeah, but you couldn't beat me in a duel, so obviously I'm still better than you, and of course, Revolver would only really be proud of you if you beat me in a duel. I imagine when you tell him that you defeated me, you know, through sneakiness, he's not going to be impressed. And this like pushes all of Spectre's buttons, and this little seed thing grabs the bridge, which makes me think, how come he's able to do that and yet Master Hacker Yusaku isn't able to manipulate the environment as well? No worries, I guess Hanoi are even better at it, so they can do things like that. But this is enough to sort of get Yusaku back in the game, so I quite like that, the bit of mind psychology, the reverse psychology he does with him is quite clever. I'm going to have to admit that Sun Avalon deck was very powerful. It did throughout these past few episodes and in this episode as well, with some really powerful plays, and I'm curious to see how that deck would sort of be portrayed in the real world. Would it be like an exact copy, so like all the same kind of stuffs? Because there are some ways of getting over these cards, but the majority of it is if you attack into it, you're taking the damage as well, so, and you're getting revived, so it's tough. It's tough deck to play against. Yusaku manages to do a play where he makes his opponent not be able to attack him with link monsters of level 3 or below for 2 turns, and Spectre does sort of a play to get his monster up to a link 4, so he is able to attack over it. In my mind, I was like, why don't you just wait those 2 turns? Because, I don't know, you can't attack yet, so you might as well wait. And it turns out by making a monster that could attack was actually playing into what Yusaku wanted, so that he could win. But I don't know, I guess you couldn't really know that from the duel going on. But this results in quite an awesome play where the two 4,000 attack point monsters smash into each other. Yusaku goes down to like 50 life points, I think, at this point. Of course, Spectre loses his ace monster, his mother figure, the tree, which he is not impressed about. He's so not impressed, in fact, that he has to bring it back straight away. He needs that protection, even at the cost of basically bringing it back from the dead. What was the name of the card? Cursed Reborn. Perfectly exemplified what he did. The tree comes back, it's all like manky and crippled, and the woman thing on the inside like deteriorates. Yeah, that was kind of cool. He goes a little bit mental at this point as well. Even more mental, I would say. Again, there's this lingering thing going on in the background where Zaizen is sort of the damsel in distress here. Yusaku can't go at 100% because Zaizen is there. If he deals damage to Spectre, then the thorns will come in and they'll erase Zaizen. However, Zaizen says, listen, if you don't win this duel, then everything my sister has sacrificed will be for nothing. All these people inside of VRAINS will be hurt. There's so much more at stake. What you need to do is you need to use this loss. The people that unfortunately get sacrificed in the process of achieving the greater goal, you need to take all that, use it as your own conviction, and then turn that conviction into strength. And Zaizen says, even if it means sacrificing me, and don't worry, I'm going to get rid of this this distraction for you right now. And he actually very selflessly grabs onto the bars, the thorns even, and sacrifices himself in quite a cool moment, which obviously Spectre laughs at, like, oh, the silliness of humanity, blah, blah, blah. Yusaku takes it very much to heart, and so does Kusanagi as well. He seems very distraught, the fact that he couldn't help even though he did try. Now, this is where I want to mention something quite interesting I find about Yusaku. Nearly all of the other main characters in Yu-Gi-Oh! Yugi a little bit used rage in some of his duels, but mainly that was the fact that he just doesn't want to lose. So he'll go to extreme lengths to stop himself from getting a loss because he's the king of games of all. Jaden, obviously towards the end of the series, he had a dark persona, and that's when he started relying on duels. Aggressive dueling, should I say. But it was always frowned upon in these kind of series. Whenever you see someone duel aggressively, they start sacrificing the cards, or they start being really angry when they duel. It's always frowned upon, and they always look back, or their cards betray him or something like that. Yusaku, I think, is one of the only main characters, really, where he duels aggressively without any consequences, because you can see the rage in his face after Zaizen's been sacrificed. I'll find the screen cap for it, but he's just so annoyed, and yet he starts dueling with anger, which again you could put that as resolve. His hatred is directed towards a bad entity. So I don't know, it's a funny one. This is something that I always find a little bit interesting about this character. He is very heavily weighed down by the weight and rage of his own thing. So I still think this is something that he needs to conquer by the end of the series. His dark half, I don't know, something like that. I mean, there's nothing really wrong with dueling with rage, but it's something that I'd love to know what you guys think, because something else happens a little bit later in the episode that I might as well mention now. So, of course, Yusaku is able to win the duel. He summons out a new Link monster, which was Talkback Lancer, which has the ability, if you tribute a monster, you can special summon a Link monster from the graveyard, which is a pretty awesome play. He's able to attack over his opponent's monster, which I was a little bit confused of. I thought Spectre did an ability where if he takes damage, then your opponent takes damage as well. But I guess if you do enough damage that you win, that doesn't come through, but I might be wrong on that one. You guys will have to let me know about that. So this is the bit that I get confused about. So obviously Yusaku wins, Spectre goes a little bit mental, starts walking across the bridge as all the fire comes around him, which was a really awesome scene, really cool to see that. And we see Yusaku just run past him to get off of the bridge. No consideration at all towards Spectre. With what we know about Spectre's backstory, he is a troubled individual who has done some very bad stuff. But the fact that Yusaku saw no redemption in him, no, come on, we need to get out of here, come on, I'll grab you, and then at least he tries to stop him, there was none of that, which I thought was quite interesting. But this is where I actually want to ask you guys the question. Do you think Yusaku should have made an effort to try and save Spectre? Do you believe that Spectre was even really worth saving? I'd love to know what you guys thought. Anyway, the episode ends with the bridge breaking and Yusaku falling. This is where I thought those stupid little cameramen would finally actually have some impact on the plot. I mean, they've been following all the main characters around for ages. They've done nothing of importance. Maybe this one time they could just go, oh, hey bro, we've been fans of your stuff. We've been recording your, yeah, we'll put you on the side here. Good luck. So I'm hoping that'll happen. Probably won't. Someone else will come in to save the day, like Go or something, because we haven't seen anything of him. But yeah, I actually kind of want the cameramen to actually do something. Overall, though, this episode cements the fact that this is one of my favourite Yu-Gi-Oh! Series. It's still in the 8 out of 10 category for now. According to the preview for the next episode, it might be another recap episode, which I'm very sorry to say. Yes, that is annoying, but I still forgive this series. I actually don't mind how long it takes for the episodes to come out, but it might be a recap episode next week. We'll have to see. But guys, let me know what you thought in the comment section below. Do you feel bad that we've lost Zaizen, Aoi, Ghost Girl? We've lost some big characters so far. Let me know what you thought in the comment section below. What did you think of Spectre as a villain? Let me know some of the questions that I posed in this episode. Other than that, guys, don't forget to give the video a like. Other than that, thank you very much for watching. Catch you later.